Hello everyone, I'm BC Begley, and these are your news headlines for October the 18th of 2022. Russian missiles continue hitting Ukraine's power and water facilities. Russian military forces continued airstrikes against Ukraine on Tuesday, bombing the country's energy and infrastructure facilities as part of aggressive efforts to weaken Ukraine as winter looms. An energy facility in Kiev was also hit by Russian drones, along with another facility in the south-central city of Dnipro. Biden administration officials considering trying to discourage American companies from expanding business ties with Saudi Arabia. Biden administration officials are considering trying to discourage American companies from expanding business ties with Saudi Arabia as part of a United States response to a recent Saudi-led push by oil-producing countries to cut global production, said three current and former U.S. officials familiar with the discussions. Australia says it will end its recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Australia has reversed a previous government's recognition of West Jerusalem as Israel's capital, the foreign minister said on Tuesday, prompting condemnation from Israel. The center-left Labour Party government agreed to again recognize the city of Tel Aviv as the capital of Israel. Nord Stream blast blew away 50 meters of pipe. At least 50 meters, or roughly 164 feet, of an underwater pipeline bringing Russian gas to Germany is thought to have been destroyed by a blast last month. Danish police believe the powerful explosions blew 4 holes in the pipe and its newer twin, the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Blinken says China wants to seize Taiwan on a much faster timeline. China's ruling party plans to annex Taiwan on a much faster timeline under Chinese President Xi Jinping than previously thought, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on Monday. Blinken's comments at an event at Stanford University in California come days after Xi said during a Chinese Communist Party Congress speech that, quote, the wheels of history are rolling on towards China's reunification with Taiwan, and we reserve the option of taking all measures necessary. Americans' trust in the media remains near record low. At 34%, Americans' trust in the mass media to report the news, quote, fully, accurately, and fairly is essentially unchanged from last year and just 2 points higher than the lowest that Gallup has recorded, which was back in 2016 during the U.S. presidential campaigns. Home asking prices tumble at record pace as mortgage rates surge. Home sellers are slashing their asking prices at a record clip as surging mortgage rates drive a downturn in the United States housing market. This is according to a recent report from real estate firm Redfin. President Biden to promise abortion rights law as Democrats try to rally voters. President Joe Biden on Tuesday is poised to make a major promise on a push to put abortion rights into law as his party looks to seize on the politically divisive issue in the final push ahead of the midterm elections. Schultz overrides allies, keeps 3 German nuke plants running. German Chancellor Olaf Schultz ordered ministers on Monday to prepare to keep all of the country's 3 remaining nuclear plants running until mid-April, putting his foot down on an issue that had threatened to split his 3-party government. Chinese diplomat involved in protester attack, says UK MP. One of China's most senior United Kingdom diplomats was involved in violence against protesters at the Manchester consulate on Sunday, according to a British MP. She says, quote, what we saw was the Chinese consular general then ripping down posters and peaceful protest, Alicia Kearns told the MPs in the House of Commons. Ethiopian Army captures several towns in war-torn Tigray. The Ethiopian Army has taken control of 3 towns from rebel forces in the war-torn northern Tigray region, the government said, amid growing alarm about the resurgent conflict pitting federal forces and their allies against Tigrayan rebels. Georgia smashes record for early voting. Georgia voters turned out on the first day of early voting in record numbers, with ballots cast already exceeding one-day early voting results in the 2018 midterms. On Monday, 131,318 ballots were cast in person. In the 2018 midterm elections, only 70,849 ballots were cast in person on the first day of early voting, and this is according to a release from the Georgia Secretary of State's office. Chuck Grassley says the FBI has voluminous evidence of whistleblowers against the Biden family. The Federal Bureau of Investigation possesses voluminous evidence from congressional whistleblowers against members of the Biden family business, according to Senator Chuck Grassley, a Republican from Iowa. The Justice Department has reportedly delayed its final decision on whether Hunter Biden will be charged for alleged tax and gun-related violations due to his drug abuse. Philadelphia police attacked by ATV and dirt bike riders who hurled bricks and bottles at officers. A group of violent Philadelphia ATV drivers was caught on video attacking police by throwing bricks and bottles at the officer before fleeing the scene, police said. The group unleashed its assault on police just one day after a Republican city councilman accused the administration of Mayor Jim Kenney, a Democrat, of instructing officers, quote, not to enforce the law. 2 college wrestlers were ambushed in gruesome grizzly bear attack while out hunting. 2 Wyoming college wrestlers have been seriously injured when they were ambushed in a gruesome attack by a grizzly bear while hunting over the weekend. The incident occurred on Saturday in Cody, Wyoming, when the 2 men encountered the bear at close range while they were in heavy cover while they were out antler hunting west of the Bobcat Howland Trailhead on the Shoshone National Forest, the Wyoming Game and Fish Department said in a press release detailing the incident. Bear attacks Connecticut boy 10 in his backyard. A 10-year-old boy in Connecticut was hospitalized after a black bear attacked him in the backyard of his grandfather's home on Sunday, according to local media. The bear was euthanized after the attack in Morris, a town of around 2,200 people northwest of Waterbury, at around 11 a.m. local time, a spokesperson for the State Department of Energy and Environmental Protection told NBC News Connecticut. The boy's grandfather and a neighbor who ran to help tried to fight off the bear, hitting it with a pipe. The boy's injuries were not life-threatening, officials told the station. A Texas mom is accused in daughter's strangling and stabbing at park. A Texas mom was charged with capital murder on Monday after authorities accused her of stabbing, strangling, and placing a bag over the head of her 5-year-old daughter at a park north of Houston, court records show. Melissa Towney, 37, is alleged to have confessed to the killing after the girl was found wrapped in plastic and mesh bags in her Jeep Cherokee. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said in a statement. Video captures breaching humpback whale nearly land on a fishing boat off the Jersey Shore. A father and son fishing trip turned into a whale of a good time at the Jersey Shore when they captured a humpback whale breaching in front of their eyes. The pair was casting a fishing line from a boat when suddenly hundreds of fish started jumping from the water. Eric Ottgen, Vice President of Zoological Operations at SeaWorld in San Diego, told NBC News that apparent humpback whales feeding on small fish near shore is nothing unusual, but breaching near a boat is.